Doing my Luka Doncic trade thoughts, so that's why I'm in my Luka Dallas jersey and my Lakers hat. But I wanted to talk about the Royal Rumble tonight. I was actually on X sending out some tweets about my thoughts, mainly about the men's Rumble, which we'll get to in a second. Um, and then I saw the Luca trade, so I was doing a bunch of research to get my video out about that. But I definitely wanted to talk about the men's. Well, I want to talk about the whole Royal Rumble, but I want to start with the men's Royal Rumble. So this is the most shocked I've ever been in a Royal Rumble. Um, I don't remember the exact first Royal Rumble that I watched. I've been watching wrestling for, oh wow, 25 years. But when I was younger, I don't think I was able to get all the WWE pay-per-views. So I don't know if I watched the pay-per-views like in 2000. Like I don't think I saw any of the ones that Austin won, and I know those are some of the best Royal Rumbles. But once I got a little bit older, I basically bought the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania every year. That was what I used my money for because I've always said that the Royal Rumble is the best day of the year. Um, I know it's Sunday now. Well, for me, I'm in Central Time, but yesterday was one of the best days of the year. I mean, I look forward to the Royal Rumble like it's Christmas. I mean, it's wrestling Christmas to me. I think the Royal Rumble gives everything that you can want in any form of entertainment, but especially wrestling. I love surprises. I know some people don't. I don't understand that, but um, I love surprises. A great surprise return, whether it's somebody coming back from injury or a Hall of Famer, or even now with NXT. It's great. It's like a present. Like I said, it's like unwrapping that Nintendo 64 under your tree when you're a kid, um, or for you youngins, a PS5 or a Xbox um, Series X. Um, I love what they did tonight from a shock perspective. Um, when when Logan Paul knocked out or eliminated CM Punk, I was shocked. Um, I really thought that CM Punk was going to win. But not only that, I thought that the final three of Logan Paul, Jay Uso, and John Cena was super predictable. Once Punk was eliminated, I thought Cena was going to win 100% for sure. I thought that Punk and Cena would be the final two, and no one would know who would win. It would feel like their feud back at Chicago when they had probably the best match ever when Punk beat Cena and did his little wave to him. I still think that's one of the best moments in WWE history. Um, the fans, I thought, would have been pretty close to 50-50 split. Um, they would have been cheering for Cena and would have been cheering for Punk. And I don't think anyone would have known who was going to win. So when Logan Paul knocked out Punk, I was really surprised because with that final three, I thought everybody was going to say Cena's going to win, and everybody was going to know Cena was going to win. So I didn't really understand that at the time. Now, is it a good idea to get that heat on Logan Paul? I don't know that he needs it. I feel like most people hate him in WWE from a heat perspective, but uh, I think it worked, and I think it will work. I think he's going to get super massive heat. I think he got it when he eliminated him, and I think they can use that in a further storyline if they want to. Um, but once it was down to the three of them, I just thought, all the jeopardy was out and we knew Cena was going to win. Eliminating Paul, third to last, that made a lot of sense. So once we were down to Jay and Cena, I thought Cena was going to win. And when they had that moment on the apron and Cena gets him up for the attitude adjustment, um, it looked like he was going to win. I think everybody thought he was going to win. And for Jay to reverse that and then push him out, I mean, I think my jaw dropped more than Cena's, and Cena knows what's going to happen, and he still had a great shocked face on. So good on you, John. That was excellent acting, which he should be able to do since he is a movie star. But I was shocked. I was absolutely floored, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to be like a swerve ending where they've had in the past that like, oh, somebody's not eliminated, and but they were, even with the graphics on the screen, they were very much showing these are the final three when Punk got eliminated. So I just thought Cena was going to win. So here's the thing though. Once I let it sink in, once I really let it, sink in a little bit, I was confused because realizing that Jay had just faced Gunther in the main event of Saturday night's main event a week ago and lost. And these shows are virtual house shows, and no one thinks any belt is ever going to change hands. I know at the first Saturday night's main event that they had a month ago, the only belt that changed hands was crowning the new champion with Chelsea Green, which is fine because somebody has to win that belt because it's a new belt. But those shows, they're fine. They're entertaining enough, and they're trying to get the masses in, and they're on NBC. They just seem like glorified house shows. They're very similar to me as the first few shows in Saudi Arabia, where there was no chance of any big title changes or anything. So when I was thinking that he wins the Royal Rumble, and a week ago he just had a title opportunity with Gunther, I just didn't understand why they didn't just have him beat Gunther a week ago. If they would have, if they would have had, if WWE would have had Jey Uso beat Gunther a week ago at Saturday night's main event on NBC, it would have been seen by probably just as many people as, if not more, than who watched the Royal Rumble tonight, just because it's easier to get NBC than it is to get Peacock. And everybody would have been shocked that he won the title and that he won the title at Saturday night's main event. And you could have him keep the title till WrestleMania, and you could have him main event WrestleMania, which is what he's going to do with winning the Royal Rumble. I assume he'll be the main event on Saturday night. And I think he'll face Gunther. I think that's what makes sense. When he won, that's who I immediately thought of. Now, we have to talk about John Cena's press conference. It was a little strange. He didn't want to answer questions. It was basically like he was cutting a promo, but it was to the press directly. And he said, if you didn't see, he basically said, I always do what's best for business. It was borderline promo shoot. Um, but what's best for business is for me to be in the elimination chamber and for me to win my 17th title in the main event of WrestleMania. That's what John Cena said in the press conference. And I think all that's true. I think, I mean, if you've been watching WWE, there's been commercials for John Cena at the Elimination Chamber very often. So we knew he was going to be there. The fact that he's in the Elimination Chamber, I don't think is all that surprising. Um, do I think he's going to win it now? I'd say yes, guaranteed. He's going to win it. And I think that Cody makes sense for him. Cody's the bigger name, Cody's the WWE champion. And as long as Cody's not actually really hurt, that he can't wrestle in 2.5 months, that's the match to make. And if he's hurt that he has to be off TV for a while, I think they'll do exactly what they did with Seth, and they'll protect him and put him on TV and have him not wrestle and still have that match as long as they think he can have one match in 2.5 months. They're lucky. WrestleMania is really late this year. Everything's late. This is the first Royal Rumble in February, even though it was the 1st of February. Uh, Elimination Chamber is the first time in March, even though it's the 1st of March. And then WrestleMania is the 20th and 21st of April, which is the latest it's ever been. It's usually um, like the 9th and 10th. So they have, I think, 73 days, Joe Tessitore said tonight. So if Cody is not healthy enough to wrestle between now and then, but is healthy enough to wrestle then, I think they'll keep the belt on him and still advertise that match once Cena wins the Rumble. I mean, Cody Rhodes, who left WWE, created AEW, um, a threat to WWE, very successful company that's still going on 5 years later. Uh, Leaves AEW, comes back, wins 2 Royal Rumbles back to back, faces Roman Reigns twice in the main event of WrestleMania, loses the first time, finally wins the second time, and now is champion for a year. Come this WrestleMania versus John Cena. I mean, it's too perfect. I mean, that is major, major, major box office, both in and outside of WWE. Because if you follow WWE, you know who they both are, and if you don't follow WWE, then you know who John Cena is. And it's not WrestleMania 40. They pulled out every big name in the world, and yes, The Rock is more famous than John Cena. But even if The Rock isn't going to be there, if you have John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in one of your main events, and then with as popular as Jey Uso is, I mean, he might be the most popular guy in WWE. I mean, the pop for CM Punk tonight was amazing, but the way that everybody eats for Jey Uso, I mean, he is over big time. And that's impressive. I mean, he has earned it. He went from a tag team specialist who couldn't even get on main event, or I'm sorry, couldn't even get on WrestleMania proper. He would always be on the undercard of WrestleMania. And I remember when they used to make DVDs of WrestleMania, and only the guys who were actually on the WrestleMania proper, not the pre-show, would get the residuals, and the Usos were never on the main show. And now this guy just won the Royal Rumble and is going to be in the main event. All right, so let's circle back to my original point here, which I don't know why he won the Royal Rumble. Is it shocking? Yes. Did they solely want to have a first time winner that no one thought would win? Maybe. Old WWE would do this sometimes. I mean, they would sometimes rip up the WrestleMania script day of just because the dirt sheets would know who was going to win and they wanted to prove them wrong. Do I think that that's the best way to do business? No. Well, I mean, I think you should have the best person win. Um, when you're scripting entertainment, you should have what's best for your company. Um, there are times that WWE does things that I hate. I mean, they push faces that I hate, or they don't push faces that I love. They have heels that I love that they don't push, and they have heels that I hate that they do push. I mean, it doesn't matter the face heel dynamic. Um, and it's not just about likability. There's also wrestling ability. Um, for me, I like a well-rounded uh, wrestler. I like somebody who can go in the ring but also can talk. Um, CM Punk's always been great to me because he's top five ever on the mic, but he's also a great wrestler. Um, Daniel Bryan was always great, but he was not as good as a talker. Obviously, The Rock's one of the best talkers in the history of wrestling. But people maybe have said that he wasn't the best in-ring performer. Which is why I think he makes a much better actor. Not that I hate The Rock or anything. I don't. He's great. But I think that WWE might have missed an opportunity to pull the shock uh, title win for Jey Uso last week. Because if he's going to win the title at WrestleMania, which I don't think you have him win the Royal Rumble if he's not going to win the title. If all of this is like a Shinsuke Nakamura, where he wins the Royal Rumble, you're pushing him as a main event guy, which, I mean, Jey Uso's nickname's been main event for years now. So this is the biggest, proof stamp that he is the main event guy. If you're going to say that he's a main event guy and give him the biggest main event you can give him, WrestleMania main event, through the process of winning the Royal Rumble. I mean, this is literally the biggest rubber stamp you can give a scripted WWE superstar. If this is the process you're going to give this guy, you have to make him win at WrestleMania. I mean, it makes virtually no sense if he's going to lose. And Gunther's been champion for a while. Gunther doesn't need to be champion for a super long time. And by the time WrestleMania rolls around, neither does Cody. That's why I think Cena will win at WrestleMania. It's also the perfect time to have Cena win his 17th. If he's going to win 17, have him do it Sunday night main event of WrestleMania. It just makes too much sense. If you're going to do that kind of history, you're going to do it as the final thing you see at your biggest show at WrestleMania. So I just think that if you're going to have Jey Uso win the championship, which I don't see how he's not going to win the championship on Saturday night at WrestleMania Night 1 main event, just have him win last week. Just have him beat Gunther. If we're going to do that same exact match, and I fully understand that WWE loves having the same two guys wrestle 3 straight times. They do this all the time, 50-50 booking. Guy wins match 1, the other guy wins match 2, and we've got to have match 3 to blow off the feud. That's absolutely fine. They could have done this now. They could have Jey Uso win the belt last week. They could have even had the rematch at the Royal Rumble if they wanted. And then they could have a third match in the future. And I don't mean having the belt go back and forth, but maybe, Gunther wins by disqualification in the second match. You could have had a short match tonight, so Gunther gets a third opportunity, and that's how he beats him for a third time at Elimination Chamber. So Jay beats him at Saturday night's main event last week. He wins the title. They have a return match at Royal Rumble. For some reason, somehow Gunther wins by DQ, maybe Bloodline, like Jacob Fatu attacks him. So he wins by DQ, and Jay retains the belt, and then they make a return match for Elimination Chamber. Jay wins the feud. There you go. You have your 3 matches that carries you to WrestleMania, and then the whole point of this is to have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, because I don't think that WWE likes having first-time winners win the Royal Rumble. Usually, I mean, they proved me wrong this time. Um, But like I was at a Royal Rumble in 2017 where Randy Orton won, and I still to this day think that Bray Wyatt should have won. I know eventually he did win the title at the Elimination Chamber, which I was at as well, which was wonderful. Rest in peace. But Bray's the greatest. I loved him. My favorite wrestler, and I think that he should have won the Royal Rumble, and they gave it to Orton. They have a lot of multiple time winners, and I just think that when you keep giving it to the same guys, you're not allowing yourself to create future stars. Um, I know that what I'm saying kind of goes backwards on letting Jay win because you are creating a future star, letting him win. But him winning the title last week, you already had it lined up. That would have been perfect. And then you have Punk win the Royal Rumble, and then you could have Punk and Jay in the Saturday night main event of night one of WrestleMania, and then you could have Cena win the Elimination Chamber, like we talked about, and then have him beat Cody. So I think you could have had three storylines, two over the last week, and then one at Elimination Chamber, and then two would basically work together with CM Punk and Jay making one match. Excuse me, and then the third with Cena and Cody would have made your next uh, match for the main event of Sunday night, night two of WrestleMania. So I just think they missed an opportunity. I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm very interested to see what they'll end up doing with Punk and Seth and Roman. Um, I don't know if that's some kind of weird triple threat. Um, I assume that the favor with CM Punk will have something to do with Roman. Um, but if it doesn't have to do with the title, I don't really understand what the point of the storyline is. If it doesn't get CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble or to win the title or to be the main event of WrestleMania, none of it is. It has no point. It has no impact, and it's a silly storyline. Not to say that that won't happen because WWE has storylines that fizzle out, and they build them up and then they suck in the end. It happens all the time. But they're making a big deal of this, and um, I would hope it would have a big payoff. Then again, they're making a big deal out of the who attacked Jade Cargill, and I don't think we're getting a payoff or any good payoff. I mean, it should be Naomi, and they should break up, and then they should both Bianca and Naomi should go their separate ways. I don't know if Naomi can be a good heel, but that's probably the most logical way that storyline should go. But um, anyway, let's go to the women's Royal Rumble. Um, I was disappointed that Becky was not back. I don't know if she's not healthy or not ready, or if they didn't feel like this was the right spot, or if they've got another storyline for her. Maybe she's winning the Elimination Chamber. Um, I'm not sure where all of that stands. I had picked Becky to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and obviously she wasn't in it. And I had picked CM Punk to win the men's, and so I was wrong about both Rumbles. Charlotte ended up winning it. If I was solely going off of who was announced for the women's, I mean, Charlotte was the only person that could win it. Nobody else was going to win it twice before Charlotte won it twice, especially with Charlotte returning from being away from injury, with an injury for over a year. So it was logical. I'm not a big Charlotte fan, but I definitely respect her. She is a great, great performer, and it was a good Royal Rumble. I was super super happy to have Alexa Bliss back. I missed her. I think she is a great wrestler. I wish that she would have lasted at least until they got to 30. The fact that she was in and out, I think in that like 20 range, and then I think she was out by like 27 or 28. Um, I was disappointed. I mean, I didn't think she was going to win, but I would have liked her to still been there once all the women were out and in the ring. Um, Going back real quick to the men, I had thought it would happen, and I was so happy that Joe Hendry was in the men's Royal Rumble. Good for you, in front of 65,000 people and getting eliminated by Roman Reigns. That is a hell of a rub for the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So good for you. Keep up the good work. I hope we see you in WWE proper soon. I believe in Joe Hendry. Back to the women. It was a great Rumble. I thought everybody did good work. Lots of NXT. I was surprised Julia was in it. Happy to see Stephanie was in it. Um, Roxanne, wow, setting the record. Is unbelievable. She beat Liv by like 45 seconds, maybe 46 seconds. But being in that match for over an hour and 7 minutes, very, very impressive. All the women that started one, two, and three were in there for over an hour. So very, very impressive. Great women's Royal Rumble. The tag team match, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it set the world on fire. All of them are great workers, but I think it suffered because it was short. Considering the night was 4.5 hours for 4 matches, and I understand that the rumbles are long. I mean, both were well over an hour. But I think they could have given that match a little bit longer. I know it's 2 out of 3 falls, but for a 2 out of 3 falls match, I would have expected it to be a little bit longer, hit some bigger spots, and maybe some more like finisher kickouts. But other than that, it was good. I'm happy that the Street Profits are back. I was actually thinking to myself during the match that the Street Profits really deserve to win the tag belts. I don't think they've had the tag belts in like 4 years, I think is how long. And they really deserve to win the titles. So even though they ended up attacking both teams because they wanted to make sure that they beat DIY, DIY won the match, if you don't know. Um, I think that's great because that means they should be the next to challenge them, and they should take the belts from them. Um, whether it's on TV or at the Elimination Chamber, I hope they win the belts. I mean, I like DIY; they're great. The Motor City Machine Guns are great as well, but I think that you really, really need to give Montez Ford another title reign. I mean, him and Dawkins are really, really great at what they do. Um, I don't want to break them up, but I really would love to see what Montez Ford could do as a single superstar at some point. If we can see what Jey Uso has done, and I think Montez is a better athlete and is pretty good on the mic. I think he could do very, very similar to a Jey Uso run at some point in his career. So I hope he gets that opportunity. Not that I want to break them up. I just said I want to crown them tag team champions, but someday. And then the ladder match. Oh my God. Cody and KO. Holy cow. They put on a show. Um, if you like hard hitting action, wow. I mean, it was a great match. One of the better one on one ladder matches in recent memory of WWE. Um, the finish, I mean, that Alabama slam. I mean, I know the ladder is gimmicked, um, but that is the most insane bump I've ever seen to be like literally turned inside out and flip. Uh, you know, his feet went completely over his head and he was like balancing on his head, bleeding everywhere. I mean, that was intense. That was intense. Great match though. I'm happy for both guys. I mean, I expected Cody to win. I do hope that KO gets a second title opportunity. Um, I think for me, if I had to pick a couple of guys who I really, really hope get a second chance at being WWE Heavyweight Champion, it's Finn and KO. I know that they're two of the most recent guys to have opportunities that are both one-time champs and have never been champion a second time, and they've both had chances recently to be champions. I don't know if it'll happen for either guy. I feel like them two and Braun, you sometimes get stuck in you win that first championship and everybody's really happy for you and you never know if you're going to get the second one. I'm happy that Drew McIntyre got a second opportunity and won. I think he has actually three. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, I think all of these guys rather be a one-time champion than a zero-time champion, but I think a lot of these guys do deserve to have a second reign. So we'll see. I think Cody has solidified himself, even though he's been champion almost a year now. I think he'll definitely get a second reign someday. But yeah, I would like to see KO and Finn get a second reign. So real quick grades. Overall, the men's Royal Rumble, I'm going to give an A minus to. Um, it's not the winner I would have picked. Surprise factor, 10 out of 10. I was shocked. February 1st, 2025 will go down as the most shocking day in my life. Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble and Luka Doncic getting traded for Anthony Davis. If you would have asked me at like 2 p.m. today, do I think either of those things will ever happen? I would say no, and they both happened in the same day. So, very, very shocking day, very, very fun day, very, very exciting day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep. This has been unbelievable. But the women's Royal Rumble, I'm gonna give a B plus. I think the men's Rumble was slightly better. Um, I I loved both Alexa Bliss coming back because I didn't know if she'd ever wrestle again, and I loved Joe Hendry. I'd say that I was more surprised that Alexa Bliss came back because I did think that Joe Hendry would appear. Um, and I would say that the end of the men's rumble, when they just kept bringing out former champions, and they had six former champions in the ring, when Seth and Punk and Drew and Cena and oh, I'm forgetting a couple people. Sorry, it's late. But it was amazing. The end of the match was really, really, really good. Um, so I think that's why I would say the men's rumble was slightly better. The tag team match, I'll give it a C plus. I think it could have been a little bit longer, and though I liked that the Street Profits are back and that they'll be next in line, I didn't need a dirty finish in that match. Um, I mean, DIY are heels, but I didn't need other people to cheat on their behalf who are not even friends with them. So it's kind of a weird ending, but I am happy the future storyline that it's setting up, but I didn't really need that ending. And then the Cody match, I'm gonna give an A. I was really, really impressed with the work of both guys. Shout out to KO for taking that final bump. Unbelievable. That looked painful. And yeah, it was a very, very good ladder match. Sometimes one-on-one ladder matches aren't the best. I like Money in the Bank all the time, because if you take a hard bump with the multi-person structure, I think it works really well. But they did great. They did a great job. It worked really, really well. All in all, for the show, hey, great show, great Royal Rumble, great day. I absolutely loved it. I'm excited to see what's next. Um, I think John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and challenges and beats Cody for the WWE title. I think Jey Uso challenges Gunther and wins the world title at WrestleMania. And then I think Charlotte will go after Tiffany. I hope Tiffany wins. I mean, I don't want Tiffany or Rhea to lose their belts. They both just won their titles, so I hope Charlotte loses. She doesn't really need the Rumble to win a title. I mean, I know she's going to win more titles. She's already got 12. She's going to win more titles. She'll probably beat Cena's 17. She'll probably get to 18 or 19. I mean, I would imagine that they want Charlotte to beat Rick's record, her dad. And if Cena's going to beat Rick's record too, I think that will mean Charlotte will eventually beat Cena's record. But I just don't think she needs to beat Tiffany or Rhea. They both just won their championships. I know Rhea's been champion before. They've fought each other at WrestleMania before, so there's that storyline. It'd be good for Rhea to beat her and get the WrestleMania revenge, even though last time it was for the NXT title. Um, but this time, I think Tiffany and Charlotte, I think it fits. I think they're very, very similar. Even though on the mic they're very, very different. But I think they have a lot of similarities. They're both great in the air, and I think it would be a very, very fun um, match. Kind of the best WWE woman versus one of the youngest WWE women. So I would look forward to that match. I'll say Tiffany beats Charlotte. And then as far as who faces Rhea, I mean, it'll be whoever wins the Elimination Chamber for the women. Um, I don't really know. I know I've heard a lot of people wanting it to be EO. Um, I'm okay with that. I would prefer it to be Becky, if Becky can come back in time and win the Royal Rumble, or I'm sorry, win the Elimination Chamber, and fight Rhea, wrestle Rhea at WrestleMania. I'd love to see that. And I'd love to see Rhea beat her. I think that would be great if she could build some momentum beating a legend like Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So I guess I'm predicting the both men's titles that the challenger will win at WrestleMania, and both women's titles the current champions will retain. So by the end of WrestleMania, I'm saying Cody and Gunther will not be champion, and Tiffany and Rhea will be champion. Uh, Obviously, depending on health, as long as everybody stays healthy. But that's my current predictions. I hope everybody enjoyed the Rumble and had a great night. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're a fan of WWE, I do prediction videos for every pay-per-view or PLE. And if you're an NBA fan or an NFL fan, I do predictions and award predictions. I talk about NBA trades, which I had just done earlier today. And it's NBA trade deadline this week, so I'm going to do a bunch of trade videos this week as well. So hope everybody has a good night, and I will see you on the next one. All right, thanks.